Jesus Disciples Seminary.
Revelation. Section 5. Revelation chapter 17.
Teacher Bob Reed.
Chapter 17 through 19 is now the completion of the fall of the beasts in Babylon. They rose in the order of Satan, first the beast, second beast, and then the harlot or Babylon. They will fall now in the reverse order. Chapter 17, the history of the beast in Babylon, 17:1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And here the waters are people. With whom the kings of the earth, all the kings of the earth down through the ages from the cross on, have committed fornication. And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Now she's just the opposite of the bride. Her city is called Babylon. And it covers the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life. It's everything that's offered by the world. So that we have embodied here, even though we had Satan, and we had the first beast, Antichrist government, we had the second beast, Antichrist religion, like three frogs, which were three spirits, we actually come down to Satan, Antichrist government, Antichrist religion. We come down to the whore, which is Babylon, representing the whole lust of the world. Religion was the prophet, false prophet. It's the lamb with two horns. See many illustrations of the same thing. Antichrist government is a beast, of course. Satan's a dragon. And then there comes the ungodly, who have taken the mark. So we actually have, as it unfolds in Revelation, we come down in this order, they're introduced in this order, and then when judgment comes, they're reversed right down the line. So we just went through the ungodly and those that took the mark, and now they're going to be dealing with the whore in Babylon and the two beasts, and then finally we get rid of Satan. The judgment comes the other way up on them. So the kings of the earth, all the leadership commit fornication because they're an Antichrist government, and they give in to the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life. So he carried me away, verse 3, in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman, the opposite of the bride, sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. Scarlet is the lusts of the world, the attractions of the world, the riches of the world, the unrighteous riches, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. She's sitting on the beast, which is Satan. He's the one that has the 7 heads and 10 horns, but the woman is sitting on top of Satan, representing the epitome of all of Satan's fall, that he fell with the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life, out of Isaiah 14. Adam and Eve succumbed to the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life, out of Genesis chapter 3. Jesus is tested by the same thing in Luke and Matthew 4, the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life. Karen read one to you. It was a governmental thing, wasn't it? Cast down yourself and worship me, and I'll give you all these nations. Besides being the lust of the flesh, or the lust of the eyes, whichever one that would be, here was a governmental test. Here was Antichrist government trying to seduce him. The very next one, the devil takes him up on the pinnacle of the temple, doesn't he? And he quotes scripture out of Isaiah for him and tells you, just throw yourself off the pinnacle of the temple, because the angels will keep you from dashing your foot against a stone. And he was quoting the word. And here was an Antichrist temptation to tempt God through religion. So both inside of the lust of the flesh of those 3 tests, lust of the eyes and pride of life, was in there, still the woman, the harlot, on the first one to eat the bread. And that was the lust of the world. And then you have Antichrist government come up next, and Antichrist religion comes up within the third test. And yet they're all three: the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and pride of life. So these things are in there, beautiful. And she sets upon the beast, Satan. She has all the power given to her, the world, the attraction. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, which is of a whore. Many religions use those same things. And decked with gold and precious stones and pearl, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Upon her forehead was written the name Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots, all the lusts and abominations of the earth. Now, many people try to make her an Antichrist religious system. But that's all embodied in the second beast, the false prophet, and the lamb with two horns. This woman represents, as we have seen and will see more evidence, she represents the total attraction of the world, for which all the kings, see, now not all the kings have any religious connection, but all the kings have gotten involved in the things of the world. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. See, every temptation that you're tempted with in the kingdom of God comes from this woman, a type of this woman, to get you enticed like Adam and Eve and fall, to get you, see, Jesus was tempted with them also. Then over in 1 John, before 1 John closes into Revelation, he says that these are the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life, and these are of the world, these are not of God. With the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. For whoever was killed under any conditions was killed because of one of those three lusts. No matter whether religion or government did it to them, the lusts always come back to the only three major ways you can be tempted. When I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Remember, these are slides, pictures. The angel said unto me, Wherefore dost thou marvel? And I will tell you the mystery of the woman, of the beast, and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was Satan in embodiment and government, is not, see, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. Now, the is not is he's in the bound stage when this is being said. He's in the bound stage. Jesus bound him at the cross, and we'll deal with that when we get over here in chapter 20. But is not is the fact that he's been bound to a certain extent. We'll see. Shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition, into eternal damnation, which is a term used with Judas, a betrayer. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, and when they behold the beast that was, it is not, and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. Now, this couldn't be actual mountains. She can't be an actual woman, or she's got an awful big posterior to be sitting on 7 mountains. But it's the power of the beast she's sitting on. Mountains are power. There are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and you can, that's reality. There's no problem with that. Even though this is symbolic, you still have old Babylonian or Egypt. You have the Assyrian. Then you have the Babylonian. You have the Greek. Excuse me, you got the Persians here, Medes and Persians, Medo-Persia. And you got the Greek. You got the Roman. No, those are all separate kingdoms. This overtook this finally. That's where...
those aren't in order.
Oh, excuse me, what have I got here?
Babylonians first.
No, Assyria's before Babylonian. This is where King Cyrus is, and he inherited the Israelites who are in captivity over here. Yeah. It's right after Egypt, Assyria. Okay, so we got 6 here, 7, and then 8. We'll go 8. All right? Now, at the time of this writing, 5 kings are fallen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 world governments. One is the Roman Empire when this is being written, and the other is not yet come. Now, the one that's yet to come is simply world government, which started out in the prophecy that would break into 10 here, but it's going to be just simply world governments, of which communism would only be one of the world governments. A large one, but nevertheless world governments. Now an eighth comes up here in a moment. There are 7 kings, 5 have fallen. One is the Roman Empire, and the other has not yet come, right here. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. The world governments, it's a short space, which is the same short time that Satan comes down, knowing he has a short time. And the beast that was and is not, even he is of the 8th and is of the 7. He's just like the 7 and goeth into perdition. So down at the end here, someplace, there is some other form yet to come of satanic government in the world. But it's not a world controlling as far as we think of one nation. It'll merely be Satan. As things get worse and worse, it'll be simply Satan getting them to work together for just a short period of time. But it'll be the embodiment of all of this. It won't be any different than what we've seen here. But we know from the visions of Daniel and his dreams and Nebuchadnezzar and God's interpretation that there will be no nation after the Roman that will ever control the world. That you can just bet your booties on, because that's where it stops. There's no other nations that will ever control the world like these did. That's the end of it. It says that the rock hewn out of the mountain, the stone will come and destroy this, and there'll never be anything like this again. Even though people are afraid of communism, it will never swallow the world like the Roman Empire did. So we're into the 10 nations that this broke into. Then we're into world governments all over the world. The 10 aren't even in power anymore like that. I mean, they're there, but they've changed names and they're broken up. But there's some kind of a last form of unity of government. It's a last-ditch stand by Satan, and it's of the 7, which means he's the beast that's perpetuating these. So we know it's some kind of tie-in with the governments all over the world, that they won't be joining together as such. They'll be opposed to each other, but it'll be the close to the final governments that will exist all over the world, and that's all it tells you. Even he is the 8th, and is the 7 that goeth into perdition. It's a Judas type, that's all. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as of yet, because these come here after the 4th or the 5th king goes, which is Rome, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast, which is that they've already been here and gone. These have one mind, shall give their power and strength unto the beast. And these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords, King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Then he said unto me, now the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth, the whores are both on mountains and water, are people. So he explains that I told you the water was people. And multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That is, it even Satan turns against in the end. This is the beginning of the end. It turns against the world system itself. For God has put in their hearts to fulfill his will. This is providential government. It doesn't stop anybody from getting saved or anything. It's how he's going to bring it to an end. To agree to give their kingdom, the kingdoms of the world, unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigns over the kings of the earth. It's opposite of New Jerusalem, which God rules over all the different people of the world. See, right in the middle of the natural is the carnal, Christ ruling the people all over the world. And the woman which you saw, which is the opposite of the church, the whore, is the great city, one and the same, which reigns over the kings of the earth through the lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life.
Search Jesus Disciples Seminary at Amazon.com for a companion textbook to these videos.